Good morning, everyone. No matter where you're listening from, welcome to the show. Today, we're discussing package management solution trends with Matt Haynes, the Senior Vice President of Sales at Position Imaging. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Courtney. How are you?
I'm doing pretty great. I'm so glad that you're able to join us. How are you doing?
I'm doing terrific today. Bright sunny day here in Connecticut.
Amazing. I know that Position Imaging is a worldwide leader of developing innovative tracking technologies. What are the most common package management issues the multifamily market sees as they relate to post-COVID times?
Yeah, online ordering was really increasing rapidly over the last 5 years, but COVID really changed the game. So I believe that online ordering probably went up 40% due to COVID. And what that does is it just increases the number of packages going to an apartment community. And historically, the apartment communities were responsible for managing those packages in the leasing offices. But with COVID, the leasing offices, for the most part, closed. And so those packages were going to the door. And you can imagine that if you got 100 packages a day and all of a sudden you get 140 to a property, packages are everywhere. So it's a big problem, and it's a big problem for stolen packages and for packages just sitting out and creating an eyesore.
Definitely. And I know in my personal story, I had a lot of theft happen in the pandemic because you were sending so much to your house and you weren't always going outside right away. So what are some ways that you guys have combated issues, whether it be theft or efficiency or anything that the pandemic has posed as a problem?
Yeah, so I think that with leasing offices closed, a lot of storage for these packages were in these closed areas. So what we're suggesting is that you create a space that has an access control point to it with a code. And if you can store all the deliveries that are coming to a property in this space, whether it be traditional packages, food, dry cleaning, even the oversized stuff like bikes or couches or whatever. And if you can include or keep those in a secured area, that's a much better solution.
So walk me through that. So say that I'm an apartment resident and my building has enabled this system. How would I go get my package? How would I set that up from the get-go?
Yeah, so we use computer vision technology. So part of that is camera technology and laser technology within that. So what happens is a courier would come to a location, have access to this particular space, a room in our particular case. They would access it. They would put the package in that environment. As soon as they walk out of that environment, the resident then gets notified. And the resident gets notified via text or email. And within the text, they get a passcode, and they also get a barcode and able to come up to the kiosk and scan their label to access the room. But in our world, what we also do is we provide them visualization of their package, what it is and where it is in that space. So if you're at home and you've ordered 3 things and your FedEx box comes, we'll show you your FedEx box and where it is in that space.
That is so helpful. So how has the pandemic and everything that it introduced, how did that affect your employees' workloads and everything going on in the structure within your company?
Well, I think what happens is if you're looking on site with the property management teams, with offices closed, they also probably reduce the number of staff. Historically, they couldn't even handle the existing package volume. And now today it's off the charts, as I mentioned. So I think what this does is it frees their time up to do different things. And different things today are more self-driven activities for residents. And in the apartment communities, there's leasing, right? There's tours. There's online payments of bills. There is, all sorts of things. And I think that what these package solutions do is it frees up their time to enable these technologies and to support the residents for the things that really matter.
So if a landlord is listening right now or a property manager and they're interested, they want to implement their system into their network, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they have to have a space on their property. So you have different types of properties across the United States. You have urban high-rise properties, and then you have garden-style suburban properties. So you have to identify a space. Once you've identified a space, it's super easy to implement a solution. All you need is a kiosk on the external door to access a room. And then depending on who you choose, if it's Position Imaging, we'll stage the room with shelving and with zones and signs and modules to keep an eye on the entire space.
Gotcha. And how has the average resident's expectations changed around package management just in the last 2 years?
Yeah, that's a really good question. People want their stuff, right? You order online, you want your stuff. Leasing offices typically have closed at 6 p.m. at night. And before COVID, no one was getting home before 6 o'clock at night. So they come home and they can't get their packages, right? They aren't typically sending them to work. So either they're in a secured room or they're lying on the floor somewhere. So I think what's happened for most of the residents is their expectations are higher. They're getting notifications from FedEx. They're getting notification from UPS that their packages arrive. They want their stuff. So they want a solution in place. They want an amenity to go get their packages. And I think, honestly, that most people who are searching for apartment homes today are smart enough to know that there's solutions out there. And so they're looking for homes that have a package management solution already in place.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that takes out so many obstacles because I can remember living in an apartment in college and having to send my package to someone else's address because my apartment didn't have something in place like this. So my final question for you is just, what do you think the average apartment hunter, someone looking to move into what should they be looking for in terms of package management in their property?
Well, I think they should look for a solution that can take in all types of packages. A lot of people set up a solution for the thin FedEx box or the normal size Amazon box. But what we've seen over the last 12, 14 months is that since people are ordering so much online, that the sizes of the packages are getting bigger. We're calling them bulkier packages. And so you need a solution that can store not only standard size packages, envelope size packages, but you need a solution that can store oversized packages. Food orders are much higher today than they were a year and a half ago. So you need a solution that can store food orders, food deliveries, either refrigerated kind or just standard packages from a Grubhub in a secured space. And Position Imaging provides that solution for our customers.
I think that's such a good point about how the pandemic introduced this habit of ordering groceries online, ordering takeout online, and people have realized, wow, this really works for me. And so to now dismantle those habits is probably not something that's going to happen. And like you're saying with these large packages, you might be ordering small items, like you might be ordering 5 t-shirts, but you're clicking that button that says group these all together, larger packaging. So I really have learned a lot from you. I'm curious if you have anything else you'd like to share on the topic.
I just think that's not going away. I think that package delivery will continue to increase. The estimates that I've read are they're going to grow 22% a year. So if you think 2 years ago, if you have a 300 unit building, they're going to get 70 packages a day. But over COVID, it increased 40%. So now they're getting 100 packages a day. And if we increase 22% over the next 5 years, which is what the predictions are, they're going to be getting 150 to 175 packages a day. They have to invest in a solution to manage this package delivery and package acceptance. And I think the bigger acceptance of all types of packages, the type of solution for those are the better fit for our communities.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I certainly learned a lot about the package development and delivery process, and I want to thank Matt Haynes for joining us. Matt, I really appreciate your time.
It was my pleasure, Courtney. Nice to meet you.
Have a good rest of your day.
Cheers.